learn how to.
Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of Joe Boo's day job. And I'm out here today with my son, Michael Anthony, and we are actually retopping a deck, okay? The deck boards themselves have been there for about 12 years or so, and of course, this is the wrong time to be having to buy some wood, although the prices are slowly coming down. If you really wait another month or two, you'll actually probably have a great price. They'll start getting back closer to what they used to be. It's gotten to be almost as expensive to do real wood as it is composite, but I'm one of those purists that I actually like real wood. I just like the real wood. The composite, it'll last forever. I wouldn't have to worry about it anymore.
What was the ones that we used on the other deck?
Those were composites.
Because that was the ones that were terrible.
Well, they get slippery when they get wet.
Bad. It was us laying it down because it's not real. The grain on it is raised.
Yeah,
and it was bad on our knees.
Well, oh yeah, it was bad on the knees, but the raised grain actually helps you to keep from sliding. But anyway, what I wanted to talk about today is tools. Me personally, I'm not getting paid or endorsed or anything by Dewalt, but I have been a Dewalt fan of tools forever. Okay, we're talking about when Dewalt first started coming out with tools. Now, understand this: that there's only a few manufacturers of tools. You may see Milwaukee or Bosch and this, that, and the other. They're the same color, right? They're the same company, and they're the same, yeah, the same grade. It's just like, you know, you have Plymouth, Dodge, and all that. You know, they have the entry points, and then of course they have the luxuries. Well, I like DeWalt tools because they cost more. That's not why I like them, but in the long run, they cost you less. Because I've had some DeWalt tools that literally I've had for 10 plus years. And now with the new battery and technology that they have, it's just unbelievable. This miter saw right here, this is actually the 8.5-inch one, will just cut and cut and cut and cut. The batteries, it seems like every couple of months they come out with ones that are bigger. This one is the 6 amp, 60 volt. I thought that was a lot. But then when, but yeah, well, I think they have the 12 amp one, so they got twice the power right there. But it's nice being able to just kind of set up shop, and if you don't have power, that you don't need to worry about it. I've got finish nail guns, I got a framing gun and everything else. We got electrical staplers that are all batteries, and all of the same batteries work for all the same tools. The good thing is, it doesn't matter if you have some of the smaller tools like this over here that come with the real teeny batteries. It's okay, because you can even use the bigger batteries on those as well, you know, because they're multi-volted for those tools. And when you use one of these batteries, dude, we've literally, see, we got 2 bars still left on there. We've literally cut all of these deck boards with this small miter saw and still have half of a battery still there. And see, you can take the tools from one to the other. I've got my 60 volt circular saw here that to me has as much, if not more, power than my plug-in one. This mother humper right here, the 60 amp one right here, we use this thing cutting 16 gauge metal studs, 6 inches, at the Smithsonian, because we had to cut them in half to get them out. We cut like 150 of them, and it literally will go through like butter. That Sawzall has more power than my Milwaukee skill saw that I plug in electric-wise. And when you're on a scaffold or you're working on side of a building and all that, you don't want to plug stuff in. But here's the other thing that's actually really cool, and I haven't tried this with it since I've gotten these new batteries. And a tip for you, here's a tip. I got a table saw, right? Just a small contractor saw. So that way, I actually have 2 table saws set up. I have one table saw which mostly has the dado head, and I hate taking it off and changing it. And I have the other one, if I just need to cut a couple little boards here and there, I just pop it out, boom, cut it, and put it away. But also having it on the job site. I've gone through and cut 5/4 rough stock cherry on the site to build a picnic table, 12 foot long, on one battery. Now here's what's interesting. You could buy that table saw as an electric one for $2.99. You can buy it as a battery one for $3.99. And you're like, well, why not just buy the electric one? It's cheaper. Same amps and everything else. But here's what's crazy. The big batteries are about $189. $189. So when you buy that $189 battery, you're basically getting the table saw for about $200. And you're able to now have another battery. And having more batteries, you're like, okay, well, if you've got all these different tools, then why do you need all these batteries? Well, here's a good thing that you can do. Now you can actually just buy tools without the batteries and the chargers. Because, if you've already got chargers, if you got 4 or 5 different drills, do you need more chargers? No. Or if you're really smart, here's what I actually did about 2 years ago. 2 years ago,
thanks to this guy,
I bought a 4-bank charger, rapid charger, charges the batteries fast. I can put 4 batteries on there at one time. You're like, okay, well, why not just have the regular chargers, and just have 4 plugged in? Well, here's what's interesting. That battery charger, you can flip the switch on it, and it's an inverter, and it's a generator. You're taking the batteries, and now you have a regular 15 amp outlet that you could run power off of. Oh. Now, I don't know, the only test I've done with that is I've actually taken 4 of the 20 volt batteries, the small ones, and I've run my demolition Bosch hammer drill for 20 minutes with that. I'm talking about not a little team, no, I'm talking about a heavy duty Bosch hammer drill with it, and not a problem. I've taken that just with the 20 volt batteries in there, and I've run a 65-inch flat screen TV for 4 hours. And they say that you could plug in a refrigerator for 2 days with it, with just those 20 amp batteries. So when you start thinking about having the 60 volt ones, a lot more power and juice that you could have with that. And you've got a backup generator that'll give you a bunch of power. And if you have enough batteries, you can just keep changing the batteries, until the power comes on. And hell, my pickup truck has got an outlet in there, so I could always go out, start up the pickup truck, plug in the charger, charge all the batteries, in about an hour, and keep running my refrigerator in a case of emergency. So tools do matter. And the last thing I'm going to say to you is, I know when you start thinking about spending $200 for a drill, or this right here, this Sawzall is $299. But when you have the power to go through and it makes your job easy, it's worth it, because now, after having knee surgery again, having a stand for the miter saw and the outfeed table, so that way I don't have to get down on my knees with the miter saw and do that, makes my life a lot easier and will save me money in the long run. All right, that being said, I need to go over here and get some more of these boards off before it gets too hot out here, so we can get this deck done. I'm Mark Holmes, of course, with my son, Michael Anthony. And I hope you enjoyed that tip on tools. Remember, you get what you pay for, and there is no shortcuts. See ya.